Hey everyone, this is Megan in person, back with a brand new video, and today I'm coming at you with a big Marvel Legends figure review. I haven't made one of these in a while, but last time I did, it was the Lizard Build-A-Figure wave. I made a while back, and I got pretty positive feedback from that one. A lot of people enjoyed it, and I enjoyed filming it. Watching it back, it was a really good video, and yeah, I decided to do something similar this time since I have similar products as well. So yeah, of course, in front of here you see the entire wave of Monster Venom, which is right in the middle right there. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go do individual reviews of the 6 of them, briefly, kind of give my thoughts on them, how I feel, maybe things that could be better, and then in the end we'll review Venom. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first video that I want to get into would be the one that I was looking forward to the least, so we can just move her out of the way. This is a Typhoid Mary, of course, right there. There were a couple of mixed feelings about this figure that I saw like around. People were either really excited for this figure, or they were like me, they were kind of indifferent, didn't really know who that character was, and I still kind of don't. I should have done a little bit of more research. All I know is that she was featured in Spider-Man at some point. I don't think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think she's like mainly a Spider-Man character, but I know, I looked it up a long time ago, and she was a Spider-Man character at some point. But yeah, as far as the figure that I really don't know much about, it is a pretty nice figure. This kind of loose, as you can see, she's fallen a little bit now. Yeah, she is cool. Not a generic looking, female character. Everybody, female characters are kind of, they don't look like this. She's different. She's got the pants going on, the fishnets on the side, the boots, the vest, and she has a cool sword right here as an accessory with the flames going around. This is kind of cool to have because for my DC collectible, or not DC Multiverse collection, there's this one Damian figure that I want to get, but he doesn't come with a sword, and you can't really have Damian Wayne posed without a sword, if any DC fans are watching today. So this would be cool if I ever get that figure and I can ever get a sword as an extra. You can just take this off, and this looks like a sword Damian would have. So I'm really happy about that. So yeah, her face skin is pretty cool. I do like that a lot. Her hair, really nice, flowy. So yeah, it's not a bad figure. If I really wanted to, I could probably do some research on her and find out a little bit more about the character, but for right now, she's pretty good. I'm glad to have her, and yeah, let's move on to the next figure. Okay, another figure I wasn't really forward to all that much, but I was kind of interested in how I felt about it, was Poison. Yeah, this is kind of just a interesting looking figure. It's nothing really like we've ever seen before. Well, I guess he does kind of look like Carnage. He does look like a symbiote, but nothing like this. It's another character I don't really know too much about. I just know that he's a simple looking figure, and I do appreciate that, because I do appreciate simplicity in figures. Anything too crazy would be a little bit too much, especially if I don't really know too much about the character. But I do like that it's simple. I like the silver that he has going on, the outlines, this spider thing in the center here, and his head is pretty cool. One gripe that I do have about him is that his waist doesn't move, or maybe it does, and mine just has a manufacturer's error of some kind, but his waist is glued in there straight up. You can't move the figure. But yeah, other than that, it is pretty cool addition, to the Spider-Man collection. So it's always fun to add new characters, do a lot of research. So yeah, I'm happy to have this one as well, and let's move on. Next we have Spider-Ham. This was a figure that originally, when this first got announced, I remember thinking, I do want this figure. It's funny, it looks funny, it's cool, it'd be interesting and funny to have, I do want it. And then, it started coming out, people started getting it, and people were complaining that it does look like a McDonald's toy, which it does, but it was something that I hadn't really thought about until people pointed it out. And I was like, I guess that sucks. And also the articulation turned out that it sucks, which for the most part it doesn't. It just sucks that he doesn't really have leg articulation. But for what he does have, it works fine, I guess. And yeah, from the waist down, he does kind of look like a McDonald's toy. But, you know, other than that, I think it's pretty cool. After the movie came out, you know, Into the Spider-Verse, I thought, you know, it came back, the feeling of me wanting the figure, came back, you know, and, yeah, now I'm really happy to have it, because now, you know, you can pose him next to, you know, Spider-Man Noir, and, you know, Miles, or whatnot, and whatever other Spider-Man, if you want to use Spider-B Parker, if you want to use a piece of Spider-Man, Spider-B Parker. Maybe we'll get one in the Spider-B Parker, is that what I said? Peter B. Parker, sorry about that. Yeah, if you want to pose him next to that, he'd look pretty cool. So it's nice, it's a character that we never thought we would get, and now that we had it, it's pretty fun to have. He also did come with pork rind head right here, which would work if you did own a second Venom, which I do not. I got rid of the first Venom, which was the Absorbing Man Wave Venom, so now I only have this one. But yeah, I guess if I ever do get an extra Venom, because maybe I want to get the new one, I mean the old one, because he does come with extra hands and like a head that this one doesn't come with, and you know, probably just reuse one of them, just, you know, to have a pork rind, so that'd be pretty interesting. But other than that, yeah, Spider-Man, pretty cool, pretty fun to have. Not really much anything else to say. So, Spider-Ham. Now moving into the category of characters that I did want to get, I was really excited to have Scream in my collection, just because it's a really nice looking figure, you know? Again, it's still a character that I do not know too much about, but I saw the pictures of this and it looks cool. Like the colors just pop out. You know, what other figures do you have that are yellow? Her head is great. Like, look at that face scan, and also her hair is amazing. I guess the one complaint that I do have is that, of course, she's a female body, so she doesn't weigh that much. Her hair, I think, weighs more than the entire body itself, so it does make a counterweight really bad, and it makes her a little bit hard to pose, like maybe upright, because she'll fall over otherwise. But you know, if you do get her right, she will pose nicely, and it'll balance out. But yeah, other than that, that'd be it. You know, she doesn't come with any accessories, but I think the paint job suffices with this one. Mine has a little blotch right there, but that is not a big deal at all. I do enjoy this figure. I do enjoy that we add one more figure, like another symbiote to the collection. So that's really fun to have. And now she won't stand up because I need her. There we go. So yeah, Scream, really fun. A figure I was definitely excited to get was Venom, the regular Venom right here, which again, I don't own another Venom other than this one, and I'm so happy that this one is pretty much flawless. The articulation on him is really, really smooth, because the last one I had, his articulation was like iffy, so I made the figure a little bit faulty for me. But this one, his articulation is really smooth, which is something that I really, really like in a figure. Like borderline loose, I love that. I also love that he comes with these effects right here, and the Eddie Brock head, which is kind of crazy looking, because, I mean, this dude, just look at this dude's jawline. He's ripped. You can see, like, the muscles on his face. It's kind of a crazy head scan. And yeah, and he does come with a Venom head that the other Venom that I owned didn't come with. So, you know, I am considering maybe getting the Absorbing Man Venom just for funsies, just to have the extra arms and the extra heads. But yeah, again, this one has pretty much no paint issues, no articulation issues. The one thing that does annoy me is that his arm is very visibly warped. And I know all I'd have to do would be just, you know, run it under warm water for a little bit, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. It always crosses my mind, and usually these things fix themselves whenever you just, you know, play around with them. Then maybe it doesn't end up breaking. If it does, I'll be angry. If it doesn't, which I don't think it will, we should be fine. But if you put it in certain angles like this, you don't even notice. So I'm probably gonna forget about it. Just display the figure, and it should be fine. Last but certainly not least, the figure that I was mostly looking forward to when getting this wave, besides the Build-A-Figure, that would be number one, would be Carnage, because I've never owned a Carnage before. The first one that came out is so hard to get, you know, to get hold of, and I never got a hold of until this one, and this one is flawless. Again, no paint defects whatsoever, none that bother me, you know, anyway. Again, it comes with extra, you know, symbiote goo coming out of it, as well as extra hands. It comes with this thing that the other one didn't come with, and an extra left hand to, you know, with a little bit more spiky fingers, as well as this crazy looking, maniac looking alternate head, which is great, and it looks great on him, as well as this head. This one looks great on him as well. Let me not take it off because it takes time, but you know, that's what it would look like. But yeah, again, another case of the articulation being really, really smooth. I love the Bucky Cap mold. It works really nice on this figure, and I just love this figure overall. If you look at it, it's so cool. It's such a cool figure. So yeah, I'm super satisfied with this one. I'm super happy to have it. Finally, Carnage. So you can't just have a Spider-Man collection without a Venom or a Carnage, and now I really feel like it's coming together with these. And now the entire reason why everybody, including myself, pays so much for these things to build a figure, which would be Monster Venom, which immediately when I build this, I knew that it was definitely one of my favorite figures in my collection and one of my favorite figures that I've ever owned. I think my favorite thing about this figure is the color of it. So if we bring Venom back, right here, oh no, it's just tangled up. If we bring Venom back, he is very clearly a black color. This Venom is not. This Venom is like a super badass metallic purple. He gives me Lasher vibes. This is something that I point out in like the Lizard review when I'm reviewing Lasher. Lasher, he has green going all over him, and that green is shiny, and the shine that it reflects, it's like a different color. So this is like, and the camera picks it up nicely again. So like the shine on the purple is just like, it shines out silver. Like, it's so cool, and it's so like pretty and aesthetically like really nice, and it makes this figure just, oh, and look at him, he just looks so angry, and it's so cool. And with these things coming out of him, the insane head, like, I mean, look at this face sculpt, like, look at this thing. Tell me how badass all of the, you know, all the detail in the tongue and the teeth and the jaw area, like how insane he looks, you know, the eyes, again, the paint, how big he is. Like, it's such a big figure. It's a massive looking figure. And yeah, the articulation on him would be flawless for such a big figure. Here's the back, which is just as badass as the front. And yeah, he's great. I guess the only thing that would make it a little bit better, but it's not even a complaint at all, I would just prefer for him to come like with an extra head of him not being so angry, so that you can have him like before and after, you know? Like before, it's maybe some kind of neutral looking head, not too angry, and then you have Monster Venom, which is this insane looking thing. But for what you do get, it's such a crazy figure. He stacks up really nicely with everybody else. And yeah, I guess that would be it. That's the review. So yeah, just to reiterate, this is not a disappointing line at all. I guess a little bit more research from my part would be a little bit better, so that I could really appreciate some of the figures a little bit more. But for what I do know, and for what you do get, and for like the amount of QC issues that these figures do not have, this line is pretty much wonderful, and it's perfect. And I cannot be so, like, I can't be more grateful to have it now, and I'm so happy to be able to add it to the collection. And I'm so happy that I got this freaking Monster Venom that I've been waiting for so long. It's almost a little bit more satisfying. There goes Marianne Park. It's almost more satisfying to wait, or like to be anticipating a figure for longer and then getting it, and then having all of your expectations get blown away, especially with a figure like this. And I'm so happy that on top of getting a figure like this, I got a whole other like line of figures that are great additions to the collection, and that I finally get to enjoy. And yeah, these are basically figures that are brand new that I've never had. It's not like I just purchased more Spider-Man people. It's not another Peter Parker, you know. It's new characters all around, and that's amazing. So that was the review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching. This was on person, and I am out.